So, we're going to tell you why this little bag's important. Yeah, has to do with this. So the reason why this bag is important is I'm going to make some changes to CoolBlue. Now, eventually I am going to put an all-in-one, a DeepCool all-in-one cooler on that CPU. But in the meantime, I thought until I get a chance to do that or order it or figure out which one I want, there's a couple of different models and I have to figure out which way I'm going to go, whether I'm going to go ahead and go with a white aesthetic, a black aesthetic, or which version of that all-in-one. It's going to be a 240, but I don't know which version I'm going to get yet. So I figured in the meantime, I've got a Corsair H100, I believe it is, that I have not been using because, well, I've been using the white one on IM number 4, and I didn't have a need for the black one anymore. So I figured I'd go ahead and check that out and see if these little kits actually work like they're supposed to. Now, these are just the standoffs, the studs, and they're just a little bit shorter. The clearance on these is just a little bit shorter than the 1200. With the LGA 1200, which is the 10th and 11th gen, which I can fit on there fine, but not on that particular socket. On that CPU, or on that socket, it's an LGA 1700. So it needs something that's just a little bit lower that makes contact lower. Not low enough to reach the 1150 or something that short, but we got this in between. Now, I am going to go ahead and do this. I'm going to swap these around. Eventually, I will use the DeepCool. We will see how much better or easier that is to hook up, especially because I should be able to put some fans on there that will daisy chain and not have all of this lovely. But in the meantime, we're going to see just how difficult it is and how it looks. And the other part of that, too, is I should be able to then, when I have a little bit better cooling on it than just the tower cooler, I should be able to go ahead and do things like Cinebench and all that and max that cooler out without it kind of trying to throttle or throw that little red light on my motherboard. So we'll go ahead and do that, and then we'll see, and then I'll run Cinebench again and maybe one or two other things and just see how it goes. There'll be a follow-up to this, obviously, when we go ahead and put the other DeepCool cooler on it. But for the time being, let's see how the Corsair works. One of the things I do like about the this case I'm using here is the magnetic sides. But, of course, all that cable management I'm going to mess all up. But we'll see if I can't fix some of it. So the old CPU cooler is off, and I'm ready to put the new one in. Well, not the new one. It's the Corsair that I had. But I got to thinking, those fans are already wired up. What if I just take those fans and put them on there? I wouldn't have to rewire everything, and all I would have to do is just worry about the light that's on the actual CPU block. And it might even be easier to go ahead and fix when I get around to swapping them back too, because those fans would already be there, they'd already be connected. Not a bad idea. I think I might do that. So as it turns out, there's not enough clearance to get that radiator and the fans and everything in there. So I'm going to have to do something different. I think temporarily I'm going to have to put the radiator in the front. I've got 3 fans instead of 2. Well, I've got 3 fans there. The radiator only takes 2, so it won't be quite matched up. But I guess I'm going to, when I order the new cooler, I guess I'll make it a 3 instead of a 2 and go from there. Got a combination of the 2 routed behind the back, and it's not as clean as it was. And the SSD sitting right there. I'm using it as a boot until I get all the rest of the drives and everything else moved over. But it's not the best job I've ever done, but it's also not the worst. Don't kill me in the comments. So this is the part where I say everything worked great, and it was really, really cool, and the temps came down, and it does look okay, and I really like it, and all of that's a lie. I hate it. Hate is a very strong word. I dislike it immensely. First of all, it makes the fans look in the case. They don't line up. The color I can match. That's not a big problem. I don't mind using IQ. The rest of the case is all like Intel and DeepCool and Cooler Master. But yeah, if I take the front panel off, I'll get cooler temperatures. But if I leave the front panel on, I get the same temperatures I do with the other cooler. And I think I like the way the other cooler looks better. I don't have to rearrange everything for it.
And it was just a lot easier because everything kind of daisy chained together. I didn't have to, didn't have to go through all the mess. In any case, this might not end up being the right case for that 12700. It will do fine in most cases, unless I go to stress it out, like, Cinebench or something like that. I was getting marginally, just a marginal bit higher score in Cinebench. I was getting 22,001 point when I was using the tower cooler. And I was getting a whole, whopping like 22,032 or something like that when I was trying to use the Corsair cooler. So I mean, I could use a 360 instead of a 240, but if I'm going to do that, I might as well go ahead and get the one from DeepCool anyway. But when it's all said and done, I probably just need to get a different case that has some better airflow. So that's what it is. So I mentioned a long time ago when I was doing this that I wasn't just going to put or publish the successes and the things that went well. I was going to publish the failures as well. And we're going to chalk this up as a failure. It's not necessarily a failure. It's a learning experience. I learned what not to do. I learned that I'm going to change it back. I learned that I was just as happy the other way because basically they're the same temps. Now that does say something for that AG400 tower cooler with the one fan, that it kept up really well with an AIO that has two fans. It's 240 AIO, that it basically had the same cooling or basically had the same temps unless I pulled the front panel off. So I can't be upset about that. So there are fewer moving pieces with the tower cooler, and I just thought it looked better, so that's what I'm going to go back to until I swap a few things over. And maybe, I don't know if DeepCool has a case with a lot of airflow. Maybe Cooler Master does. I'll have to look. That way I can still keep the name CoolBlue. So we'll have to see how it goes. This was an unsuccess and a learning experience, we'll put it that way. So we'll figure it out. We'll get it right, and for the next time, we'll give it a go. So if you found this mildly entertaining or some kind of learning experience, you can learn what not to do from what I did. I mean, that helps. Any of those things, go ahead and throw a like on the video. I'd certainly appreciate that. If you're not already subscribed, please do. Got a couple other things coming up. They're kind of haphazard right now. We're coming up not too far from July 4th, so I don't know what my posting schedule is going to be. I'll try to keep it on track as I'm getting things on track. And then I'm also starting to post now on ThatPaulGuyGaming. Mostly right now, it's No Man's Sky highlights from that because the Singularity Expedition is going on, and I'm very involved in that. I want to get that knocked out. But give me some ideas. If you go over there and you watch that channel, give me some ideas of what you would like to see me play when I'm streaming, and if I should be streaming from YouTube instead of the Purple channel. Don't forget to visit me on the other socials. Don't forget to subscribe. Give me a like. Give me some love. That would be amazing. And just do me one other thing. If you don't do any of those other things, just to be good to each other. Smile, wave, hold the door open, say good morning, good evening, something, anything. It doesn't cost you a whole lot to be nice. I mentioned on the other channel also, it's warmer weather. Kids are going to be out. They're going to be selling stuff like lemonade. They're going to have, little things, little business opportunities. They're going to come want to cut your lawn. They're going to want to pick up this or clean that or do whatever. Give those kids a break. Encourage that behavior. They're not asking you for money. They're out trying to earn money. You know what? Even if you don't need the lemonade, tip them $1. I mean, come on, really? Yeah, it's $1. Anyway, just do something nice for somebody, okay? Till then, that is all I have for this time. So until I get myself into something I got no business getting into. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Trip with the pugs might be coming up soon. Anyway, till next time, folks. I'll see you later.